As my voice is starting to fade, let's quickly look at these new cards that you guys were so hyped about. Let's see. Okay. Let your soul burn in the fire flood of Infernoid Support. Huh? Okay. I've never been a big Infernoid fan, by the way. I know a lot of people loved Infernoid back in the day. I don't mind them, but I've never been a huge Infernoid kind of guy, you know? Like, you know, I am thankful for them giving me a win at a YCS finals, because Infernoid was... I don't think it was that great in that format, but that's about it. Infernoid Evil. Level 1 Fire Fiend Fusion Effect Monster. Materials, 2 Infernoid monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can banish an Infernoid monster from your graveyard. Send Infernoid monsters with different names from each other from your deck to the graveyard, equal to the banished monster's level. If this card is sent to the grave or banished, you can add a void spell or trap from the deck to your hand. Oh, this card is powerful. This card is powerful. That's crazy. You banish one of the big dudes, you can send your entire deck to the graveyard. That card is custom. It is an instant fusion target, yeah. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, you can even add a void spell trap. You could even abuse this with something like Nadir Servant or something like that, right? No, this card is great. Also, you could even play, like, you could actually play, like, Infernoids do have their fusion spell, right? With the one that works like Shaddoll Fusion when your opponent has an extra deck monster. Nadir has no good oh, right, no. Nadir Servant needs to add a monster with less attack, right? No, you're right. I don't think Nadir Servant works. I don't think Nadir Servant works, but Instant Fusion works. Extra Foolish Burial could work. This card is very, very strong. Okay, nice. Good. Good card. Infernoid Flood. Link 4, okay. Materials, 2+ monsters, including an Infernoid monster. Okay, this one is tough right off the bat, because I'm not sure Infernoid is really a Link spam deck. I'm not sure if they can get there, but we'll see. Let's finish. You can only use first, second, and third effect once per turn. If your opponent would special summon a monster, quick effect. You contribute a monster. Negate the summon if you do banish those monsters. Okay, a little Thunder King effect on it. Nice. If a card is banished from your graveyard, you can banish a card on the field. Okay, a little Changying flavor added into it. If this Link summoned card in its owner's control is destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon an Infernoid monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Okay, hard to get rid of. This is not a bad card. However, I don't know... I don't know how we get to Link 4 in Infernoids. I'm not quite sure about that. Like, if there's a way to summon this, it's good, like, easily, but it seems like a lot of work. Like, I'm not going to freaking go through all the work of summoning out, like, 4 Infernoid monsters to go into this thing. I don't think that's the way to do it. I'm not sure. Muckraker does not work, because Muckraker you can't use as Link material, so... As far as I'm aware, I don't think there's an easy way for Infernoids to summon this, but maybe that's a good thing, right? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about the fact that a Link 4 monster should require 4 monsters? Some food for thought. Alright. Void Blaze Up. Okay. Normal spell. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per duel. Okay. Reveal an Infernoid monster or a void spell trap in your hand. Discard your entire hand, then draw the same number of cards you discarded. Okay, this is a card destruction, which is, I mean, I guess it's good in Infernoids, but I'm not sure if that's... Okay. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are fiend monsters, and this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, then target up to 11 of your banished Infernoid monsters with different names, return them to the graveyard. Okay. I mean, it's a very, very powerful effect for follow-up. But I'm not sure... I don't even remember, honestly, I don't remember Infernoid decks even using card destruction. Right? I don't remember them even using card destruction. I'm not sure if that's good enough. I'm not sure if it's good enough, because on the first turn, this can be very strong, but it can also be kind of mid. And then on the second, then you get insane follow-up on the second turn, but I'm not sure. I would argue that if Infernoid ever gets to a point where they have 11 Infernoids banished, or like a bunch of Infernoids banished, the deck is already in a winning position, right? I think the problem with Infernoids was always getting to that position, right? And so I'm not sure. This card can help you get going, right? Because you discard and draw more cards. Like it could be a starter card because you discard a bunch of Infernoids. Not sure. I am not sure. But it's not terrible. All right. Final Barrier of Purgatory, Void Barrier. Continuous spell. You can only use the second effect once per turn. Infernoid monsters you control gain 100 attack for each of your banished Infernoid monsters. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are fiends, you can activate one of these effects. Add a banished Infernoid to your hand. Spare summon an Infernoid from your hand, ignoring its summoning condition. That's also not a consistency card, or like it's an extender / follow-up. It's not a bad card, but I don't think this one is what Infernoid needed either. But it's a good card. I could see them playing like one if it's easily searchable. If it's easily searchable, you could maybe play one, because it can be a starter, right? You can get out an Infernoid from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. That's good. And then it provides follow-up later if your opponent can't deal with it. I think it's alright. It's an alright card. But the highlight, definitely the fusion monster, right? The link monster, hard to summon, but decent. This one, kind of wacky, could be okay. This one is solid, but doesn't really solve the problems of Infernoids. And the first one is a pretty custom card, I would say. That one's pretty good.